What is up, Results Through Recovery? I got Christy on Zoom call today. She's beaming in from across the country. Christy is I don't know if it like you're not a professional athlete, but you are. She's like one of the most competitive people I know. And Christy is someone who I've loved working with. And if you guys have seen her in the group, she's always the first one to log her stuff. One, because she gets up at crazy skating hours, and then two, she's on the East Coast, so she's got a two hour sleep advantage. Just don't try to get a hold of her across like 7 p.m. Mountain Time. She will be in bed. But Christy, thank you for joining the Zoom today. I wanted to help tell your story about someone who wants it real bad, but then having to have a setback and then start your comeback story and keeping faith when it didn't go as planned, right? So for those who don't know about what it was, almost not quite a year ago, like 8 months ago, 10 months ago, you were at the Nationals, adult national skating event. Crushed it, like did more than you even thought you did, right? Is that right? Because I remember it was a big deal for you to qualify, and then you were doing all these cool videos we saw. But then shortly after, this is my reenactment of Christy. She's like, woo! That's what she does. She does the double axel. But then you had to find out you had to have surgery, right? So kind of take up from there. What was that process like? And then what has been the rebuilding process through all that?
This, right? So I think you're giving me a little bit more accolades than I deserve in terms of nationals last year, but quick backstory. My setback this year is like crazy, but I have had ankle issues with my left ankle for it would be 6 years now. I've had 3 surgeries between 2011 and 2014, I think. I had 3 ankle surgeries. So each one of those, though, I mean, they were pretty invasive, but I kind of popped right back. It was like, like 4 weeks off, start walking, start training, get back on the ice at like month 2. It really wasn't, not super great, but it wasn't anything too crazy. I was able to come back from each of them. And, the only downfall was there kept being certain issues that just weren't going away. So I had to keep fighting through pain. So what happened last year, I qualified. I went to what's called sectionals in skating. I've been skating since I was 4. I'm almost 30 now. I coach, I direct. I have never been able to leave the world because it's just who I am. So last year through sectionals, I qualified for adult nationals. I was super stoked, but I was just having a slew of pain. Like it was just so painful. I did not even expect to qualify for nationals because I was just in so much pain. So I went to nationals. That competition didn't necessarily go my way, but I fought through it. I made it through it, and it is what it is. And there's a lot of setbacks happening then. So I was just happy that I got to where I did last season because I wasn't expecting it to begin with. So nationals was in April, and in May I was going into my ankle doctor, and I was like, stuff is happening. Like my foot hurts. My ankle hurts. Like this is just, I can't walk. I couldn't walk for more than a half hour without being in extreme pain. So lo and behold, we go into surgery July 1st. I pretty much had a complete restructuring of my foot and ankle. I've been flat-footed my entire life, clearly. And I now have an arch in my foot. They essentially broke and realigned my ankle. I had tendons moved. I had bones taken out. Like, just if you could think of like a bionic foot and ankle, I feel like that's what I have now. But anyway, so coming out of July 1st, I was like, all right, it's cool. I'll be walking in a month like my other 3 surgeries, and, PT in like 6 weeks will start. And I go for one of my first checkups, and I was like, okay, so when do I start physical therapy? And my doctor was like, in like 3 months. I was like, no, that's not how this works. Not at all. And it was extremely painful. I know Andy has chatted with me through it, and he knows I would complain and be like, this is ridiculous. This is so stupid. What is this? And it was just nothing. I was calling my doctor like every other day, something feels wrong. Something's wrong. Like just being that person, because I've had so many surgeries on that same foot and ankle, and it just was nothing like it. So yeah, so I was completely non-weight bearing for 6 weeks. Even when I was allowed to start walking, it was one of my first experiences of me being like, nope, I can't do it, even with the crutches. It was really hard. More mental breakdowns than I've ever had in my life, I think. I started telling my doctor I wanted him to undo the surgery, and I was not kidding. Like, this is once I was starting to walk. I felt like if you have your flat foot, now I felt like I was walking on the complete outside of my foot with this arch that I was just like, what is this? So we were having serious conversations about potentially undoing the entire surgery because I was so stressed out, and I literally would cry in his office that I was worried I was not going to be able to coach and I was not going to be able to skate. That's what it was. That's my life. So to anybody else that's just like, oh, it's just a difference in walking. Well, to me, it was like, how am I going to balance on this 1/4 inch blade? And, that's who I am. I am an athlete by nature. So to kind of have that thrown off was life-threatening in my mind. So we ended up pushing. I wasn't supposed to start physical therapy until the start of October. We pushed it up a couple weeks. The middle of September, I started going in, but it was hard. I mean, I had zero flexibility in my foot and ankle, like literally zero. I couldn't do anything. I could barely stand on it for longer than a millisecond. So it's been a very long time coming, and, I wanted to train. I wanted to compete this year. I wanted to go back to nationals, the qualifying, and so I'm like, okay, doc, I need to be on the ice at the start of November. And he was like, no, and even then it was, okay, when can I go on the ice to coach? Like, I've been coaching from the boards, and I'm like, my kids are not getting from me what they need. And I was starting to feel like a failure as a whole because I was not used to having this kind of interaction in terms of coming back from something, and it was really bringing me down. And I was kind of like, what do I do? Do I have to redo my entire life plan?
Yeah. Talk to
so
me a little bit, because I know there's other people in the challenge group who, life happened, and then they remember a time where they were an athlete or were stronger or not at a weight that they are, earlier in life where they could do all of these things. And then all of a sudden, maybe they start a fitness program and they realize that they're not where they used to be, right? So how do you celebrate getting better from where you are a week ago, a month ago, and then still trying to reconcile that I'm not where I once was? And I know maybe that's in me. Maybe I know that I can never be where I once was. I don't know how it is with your foot, but how do you keep the faith through the setback and the comeback story?
Yeah, it's been really hard. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm a very honest person, and I wouldn't say like, oh, well, that little win I was just ecstatic about. I wasn't. Like, I get little wins and I'm like, I should do better, and that's just how I look at things. So it is so, so incredibly hard to keep it going. For me, I didn't wind up getting back on the ice until January, which was crazy in terms of my personal skating. So it's been really hard, and I did have to kind of evaluate what was worth it. And to me, in the long run, when I looked at everything, I was like, well, this is who I am. So to me, without this, I wasn't going to be anybody. So to me, it was literally like do or die. Like, if I want to be myself again, I have to make this work, and I have to figure out how to live with the fact that instead of being able to, like, even just working out, because I was like, okay, well, I can work out and get stronger for skating before I can get on the ice. But even that, like, it was still so painful, and I didn't have my strength back, and I couldn't, I didn't have the flexibility in my foot and ankle. So I was only able to work out, like, I wanted to be working out 6 days a week, and some weeks I only got 3 because it was so bad. And if I pushed it, I wouldn't get to where I was. So I am not that person. I'm a pusher. I push until I break. And, so it really, I did have to have that moment, because I went through like a period where I did try to push until I broke, and then I couldn't do anything for a week or 2 weeks, Yeah. So I had to reevaluate and be like, okay, you have to listen to your body. You have to let it come back as it wants to, and push when you can, but take the time off and rest when you need to. Because at the end of the day, I was never going to reach my goal if I kept injuring myself. And I think that a lot of us get stuck in that rut when we are trying to come back from an injury or a surgery or whatever it is. Like, you just want it so bad, you want to go, 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 but then you set yourself back in doing so.
Right. Well, Christy, thank you so much for sharing your story. And I just wanted to introduce you, because you and I have had an awesome relationship, and I don't feel like the rest of the group knows you the way that I know you, but you're just what you've come back through and watching, and you always are the first to log, even though I have to slap the biscuits out of your hands sometimes, maybe. But
hey, they're good. They're good. What
there
can I say?
there you go. But connect with Christy on Facebook. She is an awesome resource if you haven't done so yet. She's got an awesome Be Strong brand where she really helps other women feel empowered. So connect with her on Facebook. And Christy, thanks for giving back to the Results Through Recovery group, because together it really is kind of a group win. And I know that I've drawn strength from your journey, and it's cool that our stories can intermingle and just help each other. So I appreciate you, and I'll see you guys in the group.
Bye.
Stop.